Time to go camping. So we're finally camping, and I want to take you on a tour of the camper. So here's the galley, and this is the way we set up when we go camping. And you can see I built this side table here to put the camp stove on. That works really, really well. And that's done it's just a piece of plywood and put a piece of aluminum on it, and then took some aluminum channel and bent it around and put a leg on it, and it seems to work really well. And you've seen the galley before, but this is what she looks like finished, and got our storage inside, and my power center, of course, and then my cabinets. And those cabinets are just plastic cabinets, but because we weren't quite sure what kind of cabinets we wanted, and my wife put this fabric facing in there, so I think they look fine, and we may just stay with those because they seem to work really well. They're really light, and I think they look great. So of course lights come on and all of that. So here's the inside as she sits, and so now we are actually camping, so we got a little bit of stuff in here, some blankets and whatnot. This quilt my wife made, and she was in charge of the color, and I love it. I think it's nice and bright and cheery, and it's really good. So this is the cabin, and of course we've got our storage up here and all of that. So it turned out really well, and we really, really like it. So it's nice and cozy, it's comfortable, and when it's cold outside, it's pretty warm in here with all the insulation that I put in the walls. Alright, so one of the other things that we did is we bought this little side tent, and this is just a cheap side tent from Kmart, and it's like a shower tent, and we've got a porta potty in there. So this is for, in the middle of the night sometimes you have to go, and so this is nice and convenient. It also doubles as a changing room. It's a whole lot easier to put your pants on in here than it is laying down in the teardrops. So this is very nice and very convenient, very lightweight, and it just travels inside the teardrop when we're traveling. You can also see we use a canopy here over the back of the teardrop. This is pretty common with people that have teardrops. It works really well, keeps all of the pine needles off you and whatnot. Also keeps the rain off of you. We've got some side curtains for ours as well. This is the first time we've used them, and they seem to work really well. We've got a little heater on that table there, and so when the side curtains are down, you turn the heater on and it warms up in there pretty well, so when the weather starts to turn cooler, it's pretty nice. And my wife crocheted up these decorations and hung them here, and it kind of makes it a little more cheery and a little more homey. So there's a couple of things that I would change if I was going to do the teardrop again, and there's only a couple where there are some issues with the design, and I'm going to show them to you. So the first one is you see the way this seal works. So this tab fits up into this slot, and there's a rubber seal here, and that seals very well, keeps the rain out. And down here we've had a little bit of an issue with water, especially when you're driving down the road in the rain, working its way past here and getting down into the cabinets. So probably what I would do is I would use this same system, but I would extend this tab out here like this. Extend the tab out there so it gives it another sealing surface. This sharp bend here, it's difficult for that rubber that on the top of the hatch to make that seal. So what I've done is I've just taken some sealant and put it in here, and you can see it's starting to get black, and that's from the rubber sealant, rubber seals on the top. So, okay, and the second thing is on the doors. So the doors, first of all, if I was going to be building another one of these, I probably would buy doors, because the doors are a lot of work. I love the way they look, I love the way they came out, but they were a lot of work to get them to work right. So, and a lot of planning and thinking and whatnot to make the cuts right and whatnot. So, but anyway, so the issue that I have is not about the doors sealing and keeping water out of the cabin. That works fantastic. So these seals in here work really, really well. But what happens is water does actually get into this slot here, and it'll run down the seal and then run down into the corner here, and the water will puddle in here and won't run out. So probably if I was going to build this again with doors, is I would angle that so that the water can run out, or put some kind of drain in there to let the water run out. This is all pretty well sealed with epoxy, and I've got using my marine sealant and whatnot, so I'm not really worried about it getting into the wood, but I just don't like water sitting in there. And if you let it sit in there long enough, it can wick its way up around the rubber seals here and get on your bedclothes and stuff like that. So that's one of the things that I would change. Another thing that I would think about doing, maybe when the tires wear out, is putting larger tires on it, a drop axle, and some custom fenders. So I might try that. I might not. I don't know. These seem to be working really well. It pulls really well, and doesn't seem to be any problems. But I think it might look a little better with bigger wheels and a different kind of fender. So one of the things that I am proud of is we went to Teardrop City, which is a teardrop gathering event that they had in Max Meadows, Virginia, and I won an award. So I won the best homemade tier, and there was some pretty stiff competition. So this was very, very gratifying and humbling, and all of that. I was very surprised to win it, but really happy that I did. So I will display that with pride, and it was a lot of fun to go to that event. So if you get involved with some of the camping clubs, you can do these kind of competitions, and also just it's a fantastic group of people. Okay, so this is probably going to be my last video regarding the building of the teardrop. I may have some more videos showing us camping in it, but this is probably the last one as far as building, and so there's some statistics that I want to leave you with. The first one is how long did it take me to build it? So I built it over the course of a year, and it took me 472 hours to build a teardrop from beginning to end. And then the next question I get asked is how much did it cost? So it cost me about $6,100 in materials, and I used pretty premium materials just because I like working with them, and I wanted something pretty premium. And so when you build yours, it may be cheaper or it may be more expensive. So if you're a good scrounger and you use some different materials, maybe not put metal on it or something like that, it may cost you less money. But overall, we're really, really happy with it, and we're having an awful lot of fun. We've been to a couple of teardrop conventions, so check out Tearjerkers.net, Tearjerkers.net, and that's kind of a camping club for teardrops. It's an international club, and so if you want to see one of these, go to one of their events and you can see one of these. Also check out tnttt.com. That's tnttt.com. If you're building one of these, all kinds of resources, very, very good resources for building one. And also in the description section for the video, I will list my suppliers where I got stuff like that. So hopefully you'll be inspired to build your own and get out here and go camping. So we're here at the Pocomoke. What is it? What's the name of this place?
Pocomoke River State Park, Milburn Landing.
All right.
Long name.
All right. So we're here at Pocomoke River State Park, Milburn Landing, in Maryland. I think it's Pocomoke City, Maryland. And so I've shown you my teardrop, and I want to show you a couple of the other ones, and just show you just the kind of the wide variety of craftsmanship and innovation that people show when they build these things. So this one is a guy named Zach, and you can see his website right here. And he's done 3 of these. I think 3?
3, yeah.
3?
The third
okay.
One. Yep.
And you can see this one is really cool. So it's got this huge galley and this huge hatch. And there he goes. He turned on his lights for you. And on top of the hatch, he's got a solar panel. Yeah, he can show it to you. All right. And look at this skylight. You see? And he's got some LEDs up in here, another solar panel on the top. And I'm going to show you the really killer feature on this is an opening roof. And I just think this is fantastic. And what this makes is this makes for a huge, huge cabin. So it pays to come to these things because you see all kinds of ideas. And Zach is a real innovator. And I really like seeing, what his next design is going to look like. So here's another person who's attending the event this weekend, and this is a little Ciro Scotti Sportsman, and he picked it up really inexpensive. It's kind of rough, but I love it. I just think it's a pretty cool little trailer. So this is another option. If you don't want to build, you might want to rehab something like this. And he found this basically out in the field. There's some work that needs to be done to it, but he's got it here camping, and that's what's important. So here's another example of somebody's interpretation of a teardrop, and I think this one is really cool. Love the paint on it, and really good craftsmanship. And it looks really cool. So see, the galley is a little different, but very functional. Works really cool. It's got a tremendous amount of room inside, and he just finished this, and this is his first time camping with it, and that's really exciting. So here's the inside of this one.
There was another tour going on. Yeah. Wow, you got all kinds of shelf of things and stuff in there.
So that's what she looks like inside.
Yep.
Okay, here's another example of innovation. So this was a Jetski trailer that he had, and he wanted a teardrop just for himself that he could go fishing in. So he's gone obviously for the really rustic look, but it's a little single berth, and I think this thing is just really cool. And So there is virtue in going with the rustic. He says it didn't take him very long to build. He basically just got the idea and built it, and he's out camping with it. And I've seen him a couple times, and out camping with it. And I think it's really cool. So this teardrop was built by our friends Pamela and Daryl, and it's a really cool, classic-looking teardrop. Look at those. The wheels and the fenders and whatnot. It's very cool. And I want to show you the truck that they tow it with. So here's the truck that they pull it with, and it just goes perfectly with the teardrop. I also want to show you the inside, and so this is just a really good representation of kind of a classic style, I think. So here's the hatch, and here again, nice and simple. Not fancy, but very well done, and they can put their camp stove there or use it as a work surface, and nice and clean. Here again, I think it's a really good implementation and good representation of a real classic teardrop. So they've got their canopy set up here with side curtains. This gets really warm and toasty too when it's cool. So give you an idea of what it looks like on the inside. With the hanging bulb here, I think that's very cool. It's very rustic, but really clean construction, and I think it fits the truck, and it fits their personalities just perfect. So See the glass doorknob and everything? I just think that's really cool. Okay, here's an example of a manufactured teardrop. This is a little guy silver shadow in a custom color. I just think the color is really cool. I love their graphics there. And they've kind of kept the theme throughout in the interior. You can see all the orange. And they also have a air conditioner inside. Let me show you the galley really quick. So there's the galley. And this is a really cool teardrop. So here's another example of a manufactured teardrop, and this is another little guy with a custom paint job. And you notice she pulls it with a mini, and so she's kind of followed the color scheme with the trailer, which is really cool, I think. I also want to thank you all very much for subscribing to my channel. That's been a real surprise to me that there's been so much interest in my build. But thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, and hopefully I've inspired some of you to start your own teardrops. I know that there are a couple of you that are working on them, and I would encourage the rest of you to build one and come on and go camping.